Today we're going to discuss the terrifying events surrounding the murder of Kaylee Sawyer. The spine-chilling case will leave you on the edge of your seat, so stick around until the end to uncover the truth. Before we dive into the details, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Our story takes place on an ordinary summer night in Oregon, where Kaylee Sawyer, a vibrant 23-year-old college student and a dental assistant, resides with her boyfriend Cameron in Bend. Kaylee enjoyed various activities such as photography, drawing, writing poetry, snowboarding, golfing, fishing, and wakeboarding. She had strong bonds with her parents, step-parents, and 4 brothers. However, on July 23rd, the night of a friend's bachelorette party, an argument arose between Kaylee and Cameron when he arrived to pick her up outside their apartment complex. This disagreement introduced a strain on their otherwise harmonious relationship. During their argument, Kaylee became upset and sought solace by staying indoors, shedding tears. Later, when Cameron ventured outside to resume their conversation, he discovered Kaylee's absence. Worried, he reached out to her via text messages, desperately seeking her whereabouts, but received no response. Concerned family members and friends also attempted to contact her, but their efforts proved futile. Initially, they clung to the hope that Kaylee had sought refuge elsewhere to gather her emotions, but as time elapsed without any trace of her, their anxiety intensified. Growing increasingly alarmed, they contacted the police for assistance in locating her. Cameron cooperated with the authorities, providing a comprehensive account of their last interaction and expressing his apprehension for Kaylee's well-being. Kaylee being reunited with her group before departing, which had sparked concern among the residents of Central Oregon. The police had launched a search operation to locate her. The last sighting of Kaylee was near her apartment parking lot as she headed towards Central Oregon Community College on Sunday morning. Her family, particularly her parents and younger brothers, are devastated and eagerly await her safe return. Efforts to raise awareness about her disappearance have been made through distributing flyers and using social media. Julie, Kaylee's mother, firmly believed that something unfortunate has occurred, fearing the worst. Tracking Kaylee's phone, emitting signals in different locations throughout the Bend, the police discovered an outdated iPhone still registered under her name. As the hours ticked by and Kaylee failed to appear at the dental clinic for work on Monday morning, authorities classified her as an endangered missing person. A new police officer named Isabel came forward and reported her husband unsettling actions and alarming statements. Edwin Lara, a 31-year-old campus security guard, had behaved strangely since returning home late Sunday after his shift. Isabel noted that Edwin's work schedule was unpredictable, and he remained unusually silent during their visit to church. Despite their troubled relationship, Isabel refrained from pressing Edwin for explanations and assumed he was distant. However, the following day, Edwin's abnormal conduct persisted when he confessed to the murder of a woman, leaving everyone bewildered and distressed. Edwin disclosed to Isabel that he had hidden some Kaylee's belongings in the shed before escaping from the house, taking Isabel's gun. Andrea hoped that this lie would deter Edwin from sexually assaulting her, and fortunately, her plan succeeded. Growing increasingly paranoid, Edwin decided to depart the motel at 1:30 a.m. They continued driving until 5 a.m. and arrived at another motel. There, Edwin attempted to steal a vehicle from a 73-year-old man. He only succeeded in shooting the man in the stomach. Thankfully, the victim survived, and Edwin fled on foot with Andrea to a nearby gas station, where he carjacked a 76-year-old woman. Edwin forcibly took a woman and her 2 young grandsons into their vehicle, but released them unharmed. He then instructed Andrea to drive towards California, where he had relatives. During the journey, Edwin used Andrea's phone to record a video in which he apologized for his actions and made mention of the girl from Central Oregon. While expressing remorse and regret, he also made unsettling comments regarding the potential harm to another girl.
Hi everybody, I just want to say that I apologize for everything I've done. Most likely I'm going to get caught. And sorry about that girl in Central Oregon. And I also want to let family members, Andrea, that she's fine and she will be fine because so far she's been doing what I've been telling her to do. You know, and if you guys are wondering if I have done dirty things to her, no. All right, I'm not that kind of guy. You know, I just killed that other girl, you know, and I regret it. I regret killing her. You know, she kept screaming, and I had to silence her forever. So, you know, like I say, she's still fine. We're driving, and she'll be home pretty soon. I'm sorry to her grandma and her family members, to her boyfriend. You know, I'm sorry for everything that I caused. Okay, and you'll see her pretty soon. Okay, tell the cops that not to shoot us, because if they shoot us, then that's not my fault. Okay, but sorry everybody. Bye.
Edwin contacted his family to inform them of the situation and dialed 911 at 6:40 a.m., identifying himself and stating that he was wanted for murder. He indicated being on Interstate 5 and expressed his intention to surrender. When asked about his location, Edwin claimed to be unaware, but revealed that he had kidnapped Andrea. He permitted Andrea to speak briefly with her family, during which he shared her name and assured them of their safety.
911 emergency reporting.
Yes, hi. This is Edwin Lara, and I'm the guy on Interstate 5, going at high speed. I know you guys have the chopper on me already.
Yeah.
And, I just want to say I am going to turn myself in.
Okay, where are you at?
Okay, I'm on I-5, I think close to Reading, if I'm right. So, you know, I am wanted for murder in the state of Oregon.
Okay. Edwin,
Yeah.
where are you at right now? Can you stop?
I am going to stop once I hit Reading. Once I'm in Reading, I'm going to stop.
Okay, can you tell me where you are right now?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Let's see. There's a sign right here. 50 miles from Reading.
You're 50 miles away. Can you see a mile mark or anything?
From Corning.
You're 50 miles from Corning.
Yeah, 50 miles from Corning. 50 miles south or north of Corning.
Are you by yourself or?
No, I have someone with me. I kidnapped her in Oregon. She's innocent. Her name is Andrea.
Due to Andrea's asthma, she requested Edwin to refrain from rough statement. Authorities advised Edwin to pull over safely, but he expressed reluctance to do so while in the middle of the road. Edwin voiced apprehension about the potential danger to himself and others, acknowledging the presence of a gun but assuring the authorities that he will not use it. Andrea pleaded with Edwin, desperately urging him not to harm her and expressing her strong desire to survive. Edwin assured her he will relay her message and promised not to cause her any harm. Edwin mentioned his intention to call his family and bid them farewell before surrendering. Meanwhile, a California Highway Patrol officer noticed the speeding vehicle on the interstate and attempted to initiate a traffic stop. However, this action sparked a high-speed chase, with the cars exceeding 100 miles per hour. Edwin recorded before being pulled over and apprehended, acknowledging that his statement was being documented. He expressed remorse to Kaylee's family, apologizing for his actions and promising to disclose the location of her body eventually. Subsequently, he handed the phone to Andrea and the police handcuffed Edwin. 19-year-old Andrea initially faced arrest but was later released when it became evident that she was an additional innocent victim. While in custody, Edwin provided Isabel with the account he had previously relayed. He claimed that he accidentally hit Kaylee with his car, and when she couldn't stop screaming, he strangled her. However, this explanation appeared illogical to all parties involved. The officers urged Edwin to provide information regarding Kaylee's whereabouts, emphasizing the critical importance of locating her body. Edwin expressed his willingness to cooperate and began recounting the events. The officers assured him they were there to listen and understand his weight. They acknowledged Edwin's faith, referenced his Bible, and encouraged him to share his story. Edwin initially denied this, But the detective insisted that Edwin had already chosen to harm Kaylee, even before she began screaming and identifying him. The detective emphasized that Edwin's actions and choices, such as taking her phone and asking for her purse, pointed to premeditation and the intention to kill Kaylee. Despite Edwin's initial denial, the detective maintained that Edwin was aware he would harm her. Edwin eventually admitted that although he didn't intend to kill her initially, the detective argued that his actions indicated otherwise. Kaylee had left Cameron's car and was walking alone at night when Edwin noticed her and began trailing her in his patrol car. The specifics of their interaction, including any conversation, remain unknown. However, somehow Kaylee ended up in the backseat of Edwin's vehicle and proceeds to drive. It is believed that Edwin offered Kaylee a ride, which she likely accepted, assuming she will be safe with a security guard in a patrol car. It was not uncommon for students leaving clubs or bars to receive rides from home from campus security, so Kaylee may not have been alarmed or found the situation unusual initially. However, she found herself trapped once she entered the car as the doors could not be opened inside, rendering her helpless. Shortly after, Edwin began making sexual demands of Kaylee, but she refused. In response, he strangled her until she lost consciousness. He drove her several miles away, gagged her again, and struck her head with a rock. Subsequently, he sexually assaulted her. It remains unclear whether Kaylee was still alive. A distressing and tragic consideration. Edwin used another stone to strike her head. He left her lifeless body at that location. Later on, Edwin returned to the college campus, changed vehicles, and drove back in an attempt to conceal Kaylee's body. Upon his confession to the authorities, they located the initial vehicle he had used during his escape. They discovered handwritten notes inside the car, including one indicating where he had taken Kaylee's life. Eventually, the body of Kaylee Sawyer was found near a canyon off Highway 126. Edwin Lara, a 31-year-old campus public safety officer, was arrested in connection with the case. Despite his confession, Edwin pleaded not guilty, and the prosecution sought the death penalty. However, during a pre-trial hearing, the judge deemed Edwin's detailed confession inadmissible as evidence. This ruling dealt a significant blow to the prosecution, who now relied heavily on forensic evidence to build their case. Edwin's defense attorney attributed his crime spree to an enigmatic genetic degenerative cognitive brain disability. However, the prosecution held firm in their belief that Edwin was a potential serial killer and a psychopath. After approximately a year and a half since the murder of Kaylee Sawyer, Edwin pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and robbery to avoid the death penalty. Despite evidence suggesting sexual assault, those specific charges did not hold. The district attorney explained to Kaylee's family that their primary objective was to ensure Edwin received a life sentence for murder, and pursuing additional charges could complicate the trial and jeopardize that outcome. Reluctantly, the family agreed. Kaylee's family expressed their sincere desire to have her back alive and well, and they harbored a wish for Edwin to receive the death penalty. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and never stop seeking the truth.